Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss on the chapter reproductive health. In that we are going to discuss on the concept contraception or birth control. So let us know first about what is contraception and contraceptive methods. Here, the contraception is nothing but the prevention of conception or fertilization of ovum during the sexual intercourse. In this part, we'll learn about the methods of the contraceptions. Basically, the contraception means the prevention of the pregnancy, and the methods which are used are called contraceptives. The contraceptives would include all various types of the devices and the medicines by which the pregnancy can be prevented. So, the next is the contraception works in one of the three ways, namely the first one is preventing contact between the ovum and the sperm, and the next one is preventing fertilization, and third one is preventing the embryo from implanting into the uterus. So, the next concept is there are some ideal contraceptives are present, and what is this ideal contraceptives? These are easily available and it should be reversible, and these are temporarily devices, and the very important point is it should not have any side effects. So in that, the first one is natural method. The different types of the contraceptions are here. The methods are natural method. The first one is natural method, second one is barrier method, and third one is intrauterine devices and or IUDs we can call, and the fourth one is oral contraception, and the injection and the implantation or the implant, and the last one is surgical method. So the first one is the natural method. Let us study about the natural method. So what is this natural method? So the name itself says that it happens by itself. Here nothing is artificial and it happens its own. It works on the principle of avoiding the chances of ovum and the sperms meeting. And the first one is periodic abstinence. So in the natural method, the first one is the periodic abstinence. So what is this periodic abstinence? What does it means? It means to avoid having a sexual intercourse during the fertile period. Now the good question arises here, how do we know that which is the fertile period? In last chapter, we already studied that the fusion of gametes, here the gametes are the male and the female gametes, that is the sperm and ovum. It takes place only after the ovulation, because ovulation is the process where the egg is released into the fallopian tube. And right now ovulation occurs at the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, that is at the mid cycle. Okay, so immediate after the ovulation, that period is known as a fertile period. Okay, so you can see in this diagram, so which is the fertile period or the fertile window. So this is the part where the fertile window, where the ovulation is taking place. Here the application of this method needs some knowledge of menstrual cycle and abstinence of sex during the unsafe period. So here the menstrual cycle is divided into the 4 phases. First one is 1 to 5th day is considered as a bleeding period, where we'll see that the menstruation or the least fertile period. Okay, and the next one is 6th to 10th day is a safe period. In the 6th to 10th day is considered as the safe period, and 11th to 20th day, this is the unsafe period. From 11th to 20th day, 20 or 21st day, this is considered as an unsafe period, because here the ovulation takes place at the 14th day, in between 11th to 20th day. In that, the 14th day where the ovulation is taking place, the releasing of the egg is taking place. This is the mid cycle period. Okay, and that ovum viability period is 24 hours. And what about the sperm viability here? That is 48 hours. Okay, so hence the intercourse should be avoided at the unsafe period. So which is the unsafe period here? From 11th to 20th day. Okay, so this period is a unsafe period, and from this, in order to this prevent the conception, so this method is applicable only to the women's. Okay, so the next concept is withdrawal or coitus interruptus. Withdrawal or the coitus interruptus. So what is coitus here? This is the another name of the sexual intercourse. The interruptus means something which interrupts. Here, intercourse interrupting. That means withdrawal of penis just before the ejaculation. During the intercourse, penis is inserted into the vagina. Now before the sperm ejaculates from the penis into the vagina, just before that ejaculation, penis is withdrawn or taken out. Okay, hence the ejaculation happens outside the vagina. That is, the releasing of the semen or the seminal fluid is released outside the vagina. So in this case, what happens? There is no any fusion of the gametes were taking place, and also there is no any chances of the fertilization, and there is no any pregnancy. Okay, so insemination is also avoided. So what is insemination here? Insemination means putting seminal fluid inside the female reproductive tract. So this thing is avoided. Okay, so these are the natural methods without using any medical devices and all. And the next concept is lactational amenorrhea. LAM. This is indicated with LAM. So lactational amenorrhea. So let us know first what is the lactational. So lactational is when the female is breast feeding to the newly born baby. So that is called a lactational period. So lactational amenorrhea. What is this lactational amenorrhea? So here the amenorrhea is, what is the amenorrhea here? The A is known as a without, and menor is nothing but menstrual and menstruation. And what is this? Without menstruation. Okay, so this menor is derived from the word menstruation. So the amenorrhea is without menstruation. So it refers to the absence of menstrual period when the mother is breastfeeding the baby. Okay, is the complete absence of menstrual period in the woman of the reproductive age. And in this period there is no any ovulation, and there is no any chances of conceptions are completely nil. Okay, the absence of menstruation least for last for 6 months after the baby delivered. So this will work like a contraceptive method only for the 6 months, but in some of the women's the number of the months may get vary. In some of the women's for the 5 months or the 6 or the 7 months. Okay, here the failures rate appears quite high. After that, the female will come after the 6 months or the 5 months, the female will come back to the normal process, and as usual the results, as usual the as a result, like the same ovulation will be taking place, and the menstruation will be going to occur. Okay, so in these all methods there is no any side effects, and all are natural methods. The body is not exposed to any of the external devices or the medicines. This is completely depending in the natural form. Okay, this is all about the natural methods. So the next one is physical contraceptive or the barrier method. Barrier method is also known with another name, that is the physical contraceptive. Okay, so here the barrier method is nothing but, let us look at the next contraceptive. So that is, now what you mean by this barrier? Barrier means acts as a mechanical abstractor. Okay, and what happens in this barrier methods, which prevents the meeting of the sperm and the egg. Okay, so now what can be these barriers and where do we place these barriers? Now there are many kinds of objects which are used as a barrier. The most commonly used barrier is condom. Okay, so this condom is used by the men as well as by the women also. Okay, and this is also called as a nirodh in India. Okay, condom is a thin and the strong sheath or the cover and the non-porous latex sac and used by the men to trap the semen and to prevent the sperm from the entering into the vagina. But the condoms may reduce the infections also, but it will not eliminate completely of the STDs, that is the sexually transmitted diseases and the AIDS. Okay, and this condoms are covers the penis in the male and the vagina in the female, and in the cervix as vagina and the cervix in the female, and it is used so that the semen do not enter the female reproductive tract or the vagina or the cervix, and it also prevents some sexually transmitted diseases and AIDS. Okay, but it is not completely eliminating these diseases. Here in the picture you can see there is a condom for the male and the condom for the female, and this condom barrier is used for in both the male and the female. Okay, so the next concept is the diaphragm or cervical caps and the olds. Okay, here in diaphragm, cervical caps, all are made up of rubber and inserted into the female reproductive tracts, and they are reused again also. Okay, and this will be blocks the entry of the sperm into the vagina. So what is here? The diaphragm is the female equivalent of the condom. Okay, and it is a very flexible dome shaped rubber cap that is inserted into the vagina before the sexual intercourse, and it is said to be more effective when this is used with the combination with the sperm killing chemicals or the creams. So that is the spermicidal. We are killing of the sperms is the spermicidal. Okay, which providing barrier to the sperms, and it completely creating barrier creating barrier for the sperm and the ovum, which doesn't undergo any contact. Okay, and this will gives high protection when inserted properly in the woman. Okay, and these spermicidal creams, jellies, foams along with these barriers. So these are the pictures. Here you can see these are the diaphragm which is used in the females, and this is the cervical cap, and this is the spermicidal cream. Okay, so what is its function? It blocks entry of the sperm through the cervix, and it is also reusable. Okay, and this is all about the diaphragm and cervical caps and the volts. So the next concept is intrauterine devices, that is IUDs. So what is this intrauterine devices? These are the small devices like loops, rings, or spirals, and which are made up of plastic, nylon, copper, or stainless steel also, and these are placed in the uterus by a very experts by very experts, not in the self inserted. There is no it cannot be inserted in the self. There is a need of some experts like the physicians and nurses or the gynecologist, and these are the mechanical devices that are inserted into the uterus to prevent the fertilization. Okay. And also there are some intrauterine devices which are available, that is the non medicated IUDs. Okay. And for example, that is the Lippes loop and phagocytosis of the sperm. So this is here the picture. This is the Lippes loop, which is the picture here. Okay. So this instrument, this IUDs are inserted inside the uterus of the woman, or the inside the vagina at the place of the uterus, and it acts as a contraceptive method. Okay. So the next one is the copper releasing IUDs. Okay. So the how these are how the IUDs are works and how do they prevent the pregnancy. Actually these methods are acts as a contraceptions only. Okay. And so the copper IUDs are, the name itself suggest copper. So why it is called a copper IUDs? Because they release a small amount of copper in the uterus. Okay. So in this picture, you can see here in this picture, so this is the complete vagina, the reproductive system, or the female reproductive system. In this, the uterus, here it is a uterus. In this portion there is a copper IUDs are inserted. So this is the copper IUDs which is inserted inside, and which is set inside the uterus, and this device is covered with some copper, like the copper ions, and in these copper ions are going to release inside that uterus, and these are functioning like suppressing the sperm's motility and fertilizing capacity of the sperms. Okay. And there is a releases of the small amount of copper, and what this copper will do, this will immobilizes when the sperms are released in the vagina from the penis, and as soon as when it enters into the uterus, the copper will react on that sperm and immobilize the sperm. So as a result, the fertilization is prevented, and such kind of IUDs are copper IUDs. Okay. And along with that, some of the copper releasing IUDs are also there. For example, that is copper T and copper 7 multi-load 375. Here it is a multi-load 375, and this is the copper T, and the same thing, copper T is inserted inside this vagina. Okay. So this uterus. Okay. So the next one is hormone releasing IUDs, that is the progestate and LNG20. Okay. These are the IUDs which are used in the prevention of pregnancy. So hormonal IUDs, these kind of hormone IUDs are secretes the hormones. What is that hormone called? That is the progestin, is a very similar to the hormone progesterone, and which is naturally secreted inside the body, inside our body in the ovaries. Okay. So it makes the cervical mucus thick and sticky, and this thickest and mucus cervical will blocks the entry of the sperm, and next it also does it slow down the growth of the endometrial lining. Okay. So it makes the uterus unsuitable for the implantation, and the cervix hostile to the sperm. Okay. And these IUDs are very ideal for the females for the delay the pregnancy or the space children. Okay. And here the endometrium lining is it is present at the in the uterus. So in the female reproductive tract, You can see there in the reproductive tract. In the previous chapter we already discussed about that endometrium wall and all. So that endometrium lining is very important in the implantation. In case the fertilization occurs, in case the fertilization is occurs, if the endometrium lining is thin or absent, there is no any possibility of implantation. If that endometrium line is very thick and it is very thickest in the structure, then that the implantation is taking place. If that same endometrium lining is very thin or it is absent, then the possibility of implantation is very less and very low in the form, and the female cannot become a pregnant. Okay, so this type of the contraceptives, hormone releasing IUDs, which are releasing some hormones, and these IUDs are widely accepted contraception in the India. So here are the some IUDs here, that is the Progestocert, and another one is the LNG-20, and the next one is oral contraceptives. Here some oral contraceptives are the oral contraceptives are nothing but the these are a very common method in women's, and these are having a small dosage of the estrogen and progesterone combination. So some of the oral administrations of the small dosages uh, of progesterone or the progesterone estrogen combination, and these are the female tablets and so called the pills. Okay, and these are taken daily for a period of 21 days. So after the complete the 28 days of the menstrual cycle period, so in that after the 5th day, okay, up to the 21 days, these pills are taken. Okay, basically these are the two female hormones which are acting in this pills. So that is the estrogen and the progesterone, which is already controlled in the body, the woman body. So these pills are contains the same hormones, so that it can alter the menstrual cycle which is taking place inside the body. Now these doses of estrogen and progesterone can be consumed either in the form of tablets, that is known as a pills, and these tablets are given in the high dosages or maintained or available in complete strip. On that strip, day wise tablets are mentioned, and these tablets or the pills are taken from the 5th day to then till the end, and these are 21 tablets every day. Okay, for the everyday based, for the one taken daily for a period of 21 days, daily one tablet has been taken up to the 21 days. So this progesterone estrogen inhibit the secretion of FSH and the LH. So what is the function of this pill? Progesterone estrogen combination of this pill, so it inhibits the function of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, that is FSH and LH. This secretion is less than become less than the ovulation is stopped, and because of the low level of the FSH and LH. So and these pills are the combination pills because the both are because the both estrogen and progesterone hormones are present. The most common pill which are available, that are the Maladi and the Saheli, which is the non-steroidal contraceptive. Here you can see that is Saheli is a non-steroidal, which is a steroidal preparation, and it has been taken once a week. Okay, and in the steroidals, which we are know that that means the progesterone and estrogens are the steroidal, okay, steroids. So we know that the steroids may have a side effects. In case of particular pill, that is Saheli, is not a steroid. Okay, this is the non-steroidal combination, and there is no any side effect from this, very less side effect, negligible amount of the side effect is found in this pills, and is developed by the CDRI, that is Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow in India. Okay, so this is all about the oral contraceptive. And the next one is injections or implants. These are the very small and the needle like or the flat devices, okay, which are implanted under the skin and keep releasing some hormones in the blood, and that implant is the longest duration, which is a longer duration, and implants are also releasing some amount of the hormones like the progesterone alone or in combination of the progesterone and the estrogen used as the injections, okay, are implanting under the skin of the female. And the action similar to the, this is very similar to the pills, effective for the long period, and also it will be remains for the longer duration, okay. And these combination of the progesterone, estrogens, IUDs, or IUDs within the 72 hours of the coitus are effective as an emergency. So these are also acting as a emergency contraceptives. For what purpose? To avoid the possible pregnancy due to the rape or unprotected intercourse and all, okay. So this is the type of the injections and the implants, how they are working as an contraceptive methods, okay. And the next one is the emergency contraceptives. So emergency contraceptives are here, which are working within the 72 hours of the coitus, the casual in the unprotected intercourse or some of the rape type of the conditions, okay. So the administration of these type of the hormones which are alone, it may be a progesterone or the combination of the progesterone and estrogen combination type of an emergency contraceptives are used, okay. And the last one is the surgical method. So this surgical method is the last contraceptive method, and this is the terminal method to prevent the further pregnancy, okay. And it is also called as a sterilization method, advised for the male and female, both for the male and female partner, to prevent any future pregnancy, okay. So this is the final foolproof solution. If once this process done, then there is no any possibilities to get a pregnant. It is permanently blocks the gamete transfer, and this surgery can be done in the male and the female at the both in the male and the female, this surgery is done, okay. For example, in case of male, the male gamete produces inside the testis, okay. So the male will produces the testis, and let us know first here the diagram. So the male will, in the male, this is the reproductive structure of the male. So here in the reproductive structure of the male, the testis, inside the testis there is a production of the sperms, okay, and in the seminiferous tubules. Now how the male gametes are transferred outside the body? Through the vas deferens. So here from the testes, then inside the seminiferous tubule there is a production of the sperms, and those are going to transfer with the help of that vas deferens, and finally it comes out through the penis. From this region, vas deferens, from this region the sperms are released and transferred and comes into the penis region, okay. And similarly in case of the females, what happens? The eggs are produced by the ovary in this region. This is the ovary, and the eggs are released from this region, okay. Then they are come out in the fallopian tube. So this is the fallopian tube where those are coming inside the fallopian tube, okay, after the releasing of the ova. So after the releasing of the ova from the ovary, okay. So what is done in this method? So we'll go with the now we'll discuss the main concept. So here in the male, there is a small part of the vas deferens is removed or tied up through the incisions on the scrotum, okay. So that is known as a vasectomy. The production of ovum and the production of the sperm still continues, but the way they are transferred outside, somewhere in between that, the route is blocked permanently. Okay, so that route is blocked permanently, so they cannot travel out. That is the surgical method here. Okay, and this method is performed in either male or the female. So this is also known as a sterilization. So this surgical contraceptive method is called a sterilization, and the person underwent with this surgical process already called as a sterilized male. If this process underwent in the female, that female is known as a sterilized female. That means the person who is incapable of reproducing thereafter, so that is a sterilized female. So let us look at what kind of surgical method takes place in case of the male and the female. So just now we said that vasectomy. So these surgery which takes place in the male are called a vasectomy. With this vasectomy is derived from the vas deferens. Okay, removal of the small portion or the small part of the vas deferens, and that is tied up through the incision on the scrotum. Here you can see this. This is the vas deferens, and this is already this is the part which is removed and tied up, and here, and this tube like part is called a vas deferens, through which the sperm were produced. This tube is a vas deferens where the sperm is produced, and the travel and the sperms are going to travel in this tube. Okay, and this method is a vas deferens, and this vas deferens is cut in between, and you can see here it has been cut and tied back again. Okay, and this tied back, so there is a disconnection in between these two vas deferens. Okay, and due to this disconnection, what happens, the sperms cannot move in this way. Okay, so whatever the sperms are releasing from the testis inside the seminiferous tubule, and then they are traveling in the vas deferens, so that is going to block, because here we have already shown here the vas deferens is cut, and then they are tied up into the incision on the scrotum. So here there is completely block will be formed for the traveling of this sperms. Okay, cannot move in this way. So this is known as a vasectomy in the male. Okay, so now what about the tubectomy? So tubectomy is removal of a small portion of the fallopian tube. So this is the fallopian tube, and here we will see that the fallopian tube is cutted, it's cut, and then it's cut, and there is a tied up again. Okay, through the incision of the abdomen or the vagina. Okay, and this fallopian tube is a part of female reproductive system. In the female, what happens, this ovary, this is the ovary here, and this is the fallopian tube. This is the ovary and fallopian tube, and you can see in this picture that even here the fallopian tube is disconnected. Okay, disconnected or broken and tied back. So as a result, even though the egg released by the ovary, and it is transferred into the fallopian tube. Okay, after the releasing of the ovum from the ovary, it is travelled into the fallopian tube. But what happens here? But the egg remains in the fallopian tube only, but same when the sperm enters from the vagina, so inside, but they cannot cross the fallopian tube, because here the fallopian tube is cutted and then it is tied up. Okay, tied back. So this is the how the tubectomy is functioning. okay. And then the tube, because there is a surgical disconnected the fallopian tube and tied into the opposite form. So these are the surgical methods which are permanent, okay. So in this some of the advantages and disadvantages are also formed, and this is the effective against the pregnancy forever, okay. So disadvantages is almost permanent, and this is not like that, it is not possible to reverse process, but success ratio is quite less in many of the cases. If you go with advantages, which is very effective against the pregnancy for forever, okay. So it is very permanent in the form. So if we go with some advantages and the disadvantages of the advantages and some disadvantages of the all the contraceptive methods. So here it is suitable contraceptive method, and its use should always be undertaken in the consultation with the qualified medical professionals, okay. So contraceptives are not regular requirements for the maintenance of the reproductive events. So widespread use of these methods are significant role in checking uncontrolled growth of the population, and some of the possible ill effects are there, which are disadvantages are there. Those are the nausea and abdominal pain, breakthrough the bleeding, and irregular menstrual cycle, and the bleeding will be heavy, or even the breast cancer are also taking place. And some of the advantages and the disadvantages of these contraceptive methods are, sometime if we discuss about the advantages here, so the convenient, it is very convenient to use and effective and very less expensive, and protects against the sexually transmitted diseases and all, and there is no any dangerous side effects, and reliable if used carefully, okay, and provides some protection against some STDs and some cervical cancers and all. And also there is no any fairly effective, and can remain in the place longer than the diaphragm and all. And these all are some advantages. If we go with the disadvantages, in the uh, in the males, there should be cooperation is very important, as many refuses to use of these contraceptive methods and all, and some are requires careful fittings, and some inconvenience associated with the insertion and removal may be dislodged and during the sex, okay. And some problems are encountered here with fitting and insertion comes in the limited number of the sizes and all. Some, and also can cause some excess menstrual bleeding also, and some pain, and some danger of the perforation infections and all. And these are recommended for those who are childless and risk of the pelvic inflammatory diseases and infertility, and dangerous during the pregnancy also. So these all are the some disadvantages. So this is all about the contraceptive methods. So hope so you have all understood these points. So once understood these all points, so this is all about the contraceptive methods, and thank you.